This is Blockchain Bernie here, broadcasting live from fabulous Las Vegas. This is my latest episode about the KAMINO Airdrop Season 2, and this will be a very open and sometimes blunt reckoning with the KAMINO Airdrop, with the current situation in the market, what it means to me. Will I use my airdropped KAMINO tokens to do something more in KAMINO, or will I not? And again, it might even offend some people, but I recommend watch it all the way through the end to get the full picture there. And none of this is financial advice, of course. I don't know your personal situation. I'm not a financial advisor. This is all just me sharing my personal opinion with you purely for entertainment purposes. So now let's just dive into it. So here's my KAMINO page on app.kamino.finance. And by the way, if you don't know what KAMINO is, it's a DeFi platform on Solana, one of the leading DeFi platforms. DeFi is decentralized finance. So you can borrow and lend your tokens there. You can swap your tokens. You can earn trading fees by providing liquidity to liquidity pools and all these type of things. So KAMINO is a great platform, and it's very much earned that they are one of the top DeFi platforms on Solana. All right, so let's dive into it. I have my 17,187 KAMINO tokens that I got airdropped, right? And if you've watched my previous videos, then you know I put like $70,000 worth of tokens, put them into KAMINO for about 4 or 5 weeks, and I earned like 2-point-something million points. And for these 2.3 million points, they airdropped me 17,000 KAMINO tokens, which are worth right now, at 5 cents per KAMINO, something like $800 or something, right? That's free money, but, is it really free? I was putting some SOL in there. I was lending SOL through the KAMINO platform for like 0-point-something% in interest. I could have earned like 7.5% interest, 8% APY had I just staked my SOL to one of the leading validators on the Solana chain. For example, the Xandeum validator. So if you don't know what Xandeum does, we're building a scalable storage layer for the Solana blockchain. We're also operating one of the leading Solana validators. Just go to Xandeum.com, subscribe to all our stuff, to our email list there, which is very important because there's so many exciting things coming out. Subscribe to our Discord, which is also super important because it's an interactive medium, and follow us on X. All right, going back to KAMINO. So in one of the last videos that I did, I showed you that I staked my KAMINO tokens. So that's the thing that KAMINO wants us to do, right? We get some tokens from the airdrop season 1, and then what they want us to do is stake these tokens and then make them work for a points boost on the KAMINO platform. Do more on the KAMINO platform, get the points boost, and then get a larger airdrop in season 2. So I got hooked by that. I thought like, man, this could be a good thing. And I have made great experiences with crypto airdrops, right? So if you've watched my videos, I got airdropped 98,000 JITO tokens, right? So almost 100,000 JITO tokens. I got them airdropped. I paid nothing for them. JITO just airdropped them to me. JITO right now is at about $4.50. So that means they airdropped me just out of the blue $450,000, right? So since that moment, I'm hooked for crypto airdrops, right? And it was no risk for me. I just used their software. I was one of the first validators on the Solana chain that adopted their software. And, they were really generous with their airdrop, right? So, by the way, talking about airdrops, I briefly mentioned my own company, Xandeum. You can go to Xandeum.com. And by the way, I don't accept anything on this YouTube channel for product placement or something like that. So I'm just doing this for myself to keep you informed on my journey with building the Xandeum storage layer. And I'm not receiving any commission or anything from anyone for shilling their products here on this channel. But I'm talking about my own project, which is Xandeum, and there you can earn points as well, right? So you can earn points, by the way, by things as simple as liking this video, destroying that like button, subscribing to my channel, leaving comments right here, subscribing to our Discord channel on our website. It's super easy to do. Go there, Xandeum.com, and join our Discord server. Follow us on X. Like our tweets on X, all these type of things. So you can earn a lot of points there. So, but going back to KAMINO here. So, yeah, KAMINO, I have my 17,000 KAMINO staked now. And what am I getting for that? I'm getting a boost, right? So that boost means, how does staking boost work? For every KAMINO staked, your staking boost applies to 2 of your daily points. For example, if you earn 500 points per day and you have 100 KAMINO staked, then your staking boost applies to 200 of your points, right? So I have 17,000, so it would go up to 1.7 million per day, I guess, right? So I would get a multiplier here on the points I earn. I already have 6.7 million points for season 2. And now I staked my KAMINO in the last video, and I thought, like, what do I do here, right? And KAMINO is a great platform. So we can borrow, lend, we can provide liquidity, we can multiply, and I show you what that is. We can go long and short. So those are the things that we can do on this platform. And I love the KAMINO platform, by the way. And again, not affiliated in any way. So if you're doing any of these things and you like to, you have a lot of assets, you want to lend them out, or you want to take a loan and collateralize it with your tokens, I think it's a great platform to do that. You can provide liquidity. So if you want to support some liquidity pool that enables trading between KAMINO and JITO-SOL, between KAMINO BSOL, all these different liquidity pools here, you can do that. You can multiply your staking by leverage staking. I'll go into that also. You can do long and short in several assets here, and these are also like leveraged. So what I like about KAMINO is the really simple user interface. It's really easy to use. And the completeness of the products that they offer here. And also, they are very, very open about disclosing the risks. So I tried all these different things out, and they have their disclaimers there everywhere, and they let you know openly where all the risks are, right? So I was thinking, let me deposit some stuff into KAMINO again, just to get that rewards boost, right, from my tokens that I have. So with the current market, I came to the conclusion, the liquidity here, if we look into that, we have some 7-day APY here, right? APY, again, if you don't know, annual percentage yield. So that's kind of the interest, quote unquote, that you will earn per year on your assets, right? There are some that are super high here, but most of them are like in the around 10%-ish region. And why do I find that low? I find that low because there is a risk involved here in providing liquidity, right? It's not the risk that you might lose everything or something like. I'm not talking about that risk, right? I'm just talking about the risk of the price of the two tokens with regards to each other, right? And let's say let's say here the JITO-SOL to SOL, right? No, the JITO to JITO-SOL, right? 57%. You see that here, JITO to JITO-SOL. So the JITO-SOL is just staked SOL, right? So its price is going in sync with SOL, and it goes a little bit faster upwards because it's that liquid staking token. But the Jito token is completely unhinged from that, right? Untethered, I would say. So that means the Jito token can go any way with regards to Sol or Jito Sol, right? It can go up and down. So you just deposit 50-50 there to provide liquidity for others for trading. And then when others trade, you get a cut of the trading fees. So that sounds awesome. So then if you don't mind and say like, well, Jito and Jito Sol might both be great investments. And if some of them doesn't perform as well as the other, and it kind of taints your whole APY, then you're fine with that, then that's a great thing to do, right? For just me personally, I feel like, and I've tried this liquidity providing so many days, there is that risk that the two assets here, the asset pair that's given here, that they will kind of diverge with their pricing. And, in DeFi, that is termed or dubbed impermanent loss. But it turns out to be that loss can actually be quite permanent. It's kind of a misnomer to call that impermanent loss. So yeah, even with these 80% here, and I did that in one of my previous videos also, where I provided liquidity on Kaminos to some trading pool. It might be great in some situation, and Kamino is a great platform to do that. But just for me, hey, I'm building that company. Xandeum here, we're building the storage layer. We will be launching our own liquid staking pool. And, I don't want to spend my time to track two assets and how they're going to each other just to earn a potential 13% or so in APY. That's just not for me. And your situation might be really different. And I can, if you want to try that with a small amount and get excited about, trading different pairs, providing liquidity, earning on trading fees from other people's trading in that pool. Isn't that very cool? I think it is, right? It's just, for me personally, yeah, I just don't want to do it at this point in time, any of the liquidity providing. I don't want to do the leverage staking. So that is like you get your staking rewards up from like 8% to 17%. But actually, you're taking on a ton of extra risk here because it's all leveraged. It's also just not for me. And you can go long and short. That's the same thing. If you go short somewhere, well, you need to be really sure that price is going down because losses are basically unlimited. So the long and short, like perpetuals thing here, is also not for me. It might be great for day traders and stuff that have a lot of time to schedule these things. And again, great platform here. And the borrow lend, that would be nice because, I happen to have a few assets here in my wallet. And, I thought I could just lend them out, right? But then, lots of my assets are like Sol. So what's the supply APY on Sol now? It's actually gone up to 3.79%. So that's basically maybe half of what I could earn when I stake it somewhere directly. Yeah, but do I want to do that? Just walk away with half the APY just to have the potential of get some more Kamino points? It might be great for you and for your situation, but for me, it's just like another thing to track. And yeah, I don't really want to do it. There's a 10.5 supply APY on USDC. Maybe that's something for some people, but there's also additional risk, and you already get like 5% these days on just regular savings accounts, and you might get a little bit more if you buy some CDs and stuff. For me, not really worth it because it's per year and everything. So yeah. And then if I do liquid staking, right, I already get the staking rewards, and then I might lend out those liquid staking tokens to get some extra rewards. It's like 0.02, 0.03, 0.04%, that's not worth it to me, right? I would lend it out, and, make no mistake, each lending also has their risks, and they are again, really great at letting you know all these risks before you can actually pull the trigger and lend your tokens out. They will give you all the risks there. They even have a risk panel and stuff like that. So yeah, Kamino is a great tool, but again, for me personally, I would just say with the current market situation, with these, risk premiums that are being paid here, and that's not Kamino's thing, right? They are just, it's just supply and demand, right? You have the borrow APY, the supply APY here on all these assets. So here we see the supply APY for GTOSOL, and the borrow APY is 0.46%. And that all plays out with supply and demand. It's not like Kamino is some sort of centralized thing that charges a certain amount of interest or so. This is just, the free markets here, right? But it seems like the markets are paying me so little here for supply APY to supply my liquid staking tokens, which would be kind of the only thing I would be willing to do. That would be low maintenance for me, and it's the tokens I already have, and I could just supply them and lend them out here. But for this APY here, taking on that additional risk and stuff, it's just not for me, right? So what does that all mean for me, right? It just feels like right now, even though Kamino wants me to use my tokens that I got from the first airdrop, stake them, which I did, and then with the stake tokens, they give me a boost for the second season. So they want me to use Kamino again, earn some more points, and get that boost factor from the airdrop that I had in the first season. And I think that's a great idea. I honestly think it's a great idea. And if you find something on Kamino that you want to try out with some smaller amounts and want to track it all and stuff like that, by all means, it might be great. But for me personally, I just feel like, the market doesn't give me a great opportunity here to be out there on Kamino just to get a boost in some airdrop points and then see what the second airdrop is. I might be totally wrong here, right? I was just a little bit disappointed, to tell you the truth, with the first airdrop on Kamino. And now my expectation for the second airdrop season is also quite low, right? And that's probably because I've seen that Jito airdrop, also the Jupiter airdrop, and all these things, right? And then in comparison to that, the market went down a little bit in the meantime, and it was a little bit disappointing. And now putting in all that extra work, putting in some extra risk, putting in some work to track it, is, for me personally, with all the other projects that I have going on here, not worth it. But it might very well for you. But I just wanted to, as always here, just give you my personal opinion. So I'm going to unstake my Kamino tokens, and then most likely just sell them, right? So let's look how that works here. Let's go to Kamino, the stake Kamino page here. I have my 17,000 staked here, which I did live in the last video. I'm unstaking them here. So then they give me a little warning. If you unstake Kamino, your staking boost will apply to less points per day. Okay, so I'll just unstake the maximum here, all my 17,187 Kamino tokens. And it's asking me to confirm the transaction here in my wallet, which I'm doing. And boom, the transaction went through, right? And is there a cooldown period for the Kamino tokens? No, it was instant, right? So that's a great thing. For Kamino, usually, you have a cooldown period, just as with normal staking on Solana. It could be up to 1 epoch, so maybe up to 2.5 days or so. On average, then about 1 day. And on Marinate, when you want to stake your Marinate tokens there, you'd have to lock them for 30 days, a minimum of 30 days, to participate in governance and all these things. But here, I think these guys are kind of generous, right? So they just let me unstake my Kamino immediately, so I could sell them right now if I wanted to. But looking at the chart here, yeah, it's at 5.5 cents right now, approximately. Let's refresh it. Yeah. And let's look at it over the past 3 months or so. This was when it got listed on April 30th. And then, yeah, it launched at like 11 cents or so, 11.8. Then it, went down all the way to 3.7 cents here, came up to 9 cents, and then fizzled out, all the way until like 5 point something. So, yeah, it might be a good idea to sell right now. So how much would that be? Let's look it up here. Let's go to Jupiter and connect my wallet. Boom. And let's say we're paying Kamino, right? Oops, where was it? Kamino. Here we go. Let's do max. And I want to have USDC. That'd be $941. Yeah. You know what? I'll just take that offer now. I'm doing it live. And confirm. And transaction is processing down here. Sometimes it can take a while these days on Solana because, yeah, Solana is a sought-after chain, and, there's so many people wanting to get their transaction through, but it's already through. This was all live, right? So I didn't cut out anything. And, yeah, if I look at my wallet now, I have some additional USDC in my wallet here now. Okay, so this was my in-depth statement of what do I do with Kamino Airdrop Season 2. And again, it might be a big mistake, right? It might be, yeah, I should have done something on the Kamino platform and then get the boost on the points and use my 6.7 million points that I already have. And maybe the second airdrop becomes a way, way greater success and I could have made hundreds of thousands of dollars with it. I just made the decision for me personally, it wouldn't be worth it for me to track all this and figure out what to do and, bear some risks for really small risk premiums that are being paid right now in the market. So that's why I made this decision. But let me know down in the comments what you think, right? What are you doing with your Kamino tokens? Are you holding them? I mean, many people are like, I got these tokens from the first airdrop for free. So what can I lose, right? And they use it to play further. And I can very much understand that. That's a great approach to have. And yeah, otherwise, stay tuned for everything. What's coming with Xandeum in the near future. There will be our own liquid staking pool with so many firsts, with so many innovations, where we are the first liquid staking pool to have that, where validators can share their block rewards and priority fees and have to share their priority fees and block rewards with the pool so that you as the liquid staker can profit off of this. And the same will be true for the JIDO MEV rewards. They will go through our Yield Defender, will be distributed through the Yield Defender. And also, of course, it will all build on the Xandeum. Here we go, the Xandeum scalable storage layer. So each validator that we delegate stake to in the liquid staking pool has committed themselves to implement the Xandeum scalable storage layer as soon as it's there. If you want to be part of it, earn your points by liking this video, subscribing, go to points.xandeum.org to see other ways how you can earn your points. But for today, thanks so much for watching, guys. Catch you later.